I went to a party. This must have been in the very late 70s. She was only then the leader, newly elected leader of the Conservative Party. And I went to a ghastly party in the Rosebery room of the House of Lords for a terrible book by Lord Butler, formerly Rab Butler, on the history of the Conservative Party. It looked like a fantastically unpromising evening that I had to cover for the then New Statesman. Now I speak of the New Statesman, sadly, as an interred thing of the past. They're still publishing, I think, trading falsely under the same name. And in this magazine, I had written a few weeks before at the Tory Party conference that I thought that the power she had over the men in the Tory leadership was a sexual power. That she had an absolute radiance to her, that she knew exactly how many beans made five, and she'd sized up all of these men completely and bent them to her will. How right can you be, by the way? What happened to Francis Pym? Where is Willie Whitelaw now? Jim Pryor? You wouldn't give ninepence for the whole batch. She devoured them all. She was a gorgon. And now, my opinion, which may be immodest, is this. If in the late 1970s you're the newly elected leader of the Tory party, and the columnist for the main socialist opposition weekly says that you're full of sex, it's possible you'll notice it, or that someone will call it to your attention. At any rate, when we met and were introduced to this party, she seemed to know me. It's one of those things, it's so hard to define. Think of the moment on the tram in Dr. Zhivago, where just as they brushed, there's the crackle. I can still feel it. It's not that I felt it then. And we got into an argument about what was then Rhodesia and is now Zimbabwe. And she took what I thought was a reactionary position on it, and I told her that I'd run into some Tories in my recent trip to Rhodesia who disagreed with her, and she disagreed with me on a point of fact and wouldn't let go. I was right. On the point of fact, I was correct. I insist on this. But she was so stubborn, she wouldn't give way. So finally I thought, okay, give the lady the point. And I said, well, you're probably right. And I inclined, as one does, with as much gallantry as I could muster, to acknowledge it. Bow. Straightened up again. She said, bow lower. Bertie Wooster says at one point of someone that he writhed like an electric fan. And of another person that he withered like a salted snail. It's difficult to describe which of these would most best describe my reaction, but I found I had no will. Yeah. I bowed lower. And then I regained the vertical. And she said, no, much lower. So, as if I had been possessed, as if my corporeal form was occupied by an alien being, as if I lived only to obey. And by this time, people like Simon Hoggart and James Fenton were clustering around. What the fuck is this? I have witnesses, in other words. I sort of bent like this. And all the while, behind her back, she'd been rolling up the House of Lords order paper of the day into a little tube. And as I did, she stepped smartly behind me and gave me a terrific thwack on what I can only describe as my bottom. I straightened up with immense difficulty. And to see her turn away and over her shoulder say, naughty boy. Only preemption does that to me now. And I sometimes have to say it twice. The look she threw over her shoulder is with me still. And that was in 1978, ladies and gentlemen, brothers in Christ, comrades and friends. And nothing that she ever did after that, nor the people to whom she did it, ever surprised me. Nothing came as a surprise after that.
Hitch.